All right. So after being pecked by a radioactive bird, mild-mannered Tuthill was compelled to become Kineas, the Skydude. It's episode number 226, wherein Kineas tries to recover from the last humiliating live stream, where he managed to fail every attempt at doing the aerial advertising. But it wasn't just because of bad flying. It was because of a controller setup error. So I want to show you, tell you, explain to you something that could end up happening to you and causing you to fail too, and I don't want it to happen to you. Let's jump in here. Hey, real quick, if you need a follower, I'm the one. Just come into the chat room, say hi, drop an emoji, do anything, and I'll immediately click the 3 dots next to your name and go right to your channel and hit subscribe. So, well, I got to start somewhere. And I apologize for like 2 episodes ago. Hey, man, gremlins, they happen. Just all of a sudden, my mic was blown out in OBS. I have no way to explain it. I wasn't even in the settings at any point in the last few days, but one of my episodes, 24, yeah, the mic isn't working, so I put it on private, and I may download it and edit over the top of it, whatever. But that one's a bust. Wayne said, I thought you were just being quiet and didn't want to talk. Look, you know me, I love to talk. I don't shut up. If you don't hear me talking on one of my streams, something is wrong. Simple as that. I would never just do a stream without talking, the mic being open, something. I'd never do it. So thank you for letting me know, NC Plane Spotting, that my mic was out. Okay. Now, this plane has a tow bar, right? Underneath it here, you see that tow bar? Okay, and I don't know if it'll work out here at the moment. No. Okay. The button that I set up to press to lower the tow bar was also bound to my joystick thumb button, which is also improperly labeled as button number 5. It's button number 2 traditionally. So and they call it it's not a hook. You'd think that it would be under hook, right? But it's not. It's under pole. Come in here and type pole. Okay. And I've got to toggle lead pole. But now on my joystick, other things are also tied to that, well, that is also tied to, it must be tied to other buttons. Anyway, hold on. Let me search by input. Toggle grapple hook, joystick button 4. So whatever, pressing that button is causing my banner bar to come up and release the sign. So I'm trying to apply down nose trim, and in trying to do so, I'm making the hook unhook the sign. So Again, it wasn't all just because of my crappy flying. So when we get up in the air, I'm going to test it again and see what happens. This is a long taxi, and I apologize on behalf of Asobo for making this such a long taxi. Oh, also, I think I may have solved the how to get an invite URL to Discord.
Guys, I'm ready. You.
You. All right, see that right there? That right there, it's not on the runway. It's off the side of the runway. So if you've done other flight careers that have done advertising.
I'm Sonia. I work for Skyrocket Media. I bet you've got today's job covered. We're promoting a radio show today. Grab the banner and fly it properly over Palm Beach. Pretty simple, right? Well, I'll be on the radio and feed you with the essentials during your flight.
Feed me, Seymour.
Smooth show for the client. You've got this.
Okay. In other career apps like NEOFLY, once you take off, the advertising team can run out onto the runway and set that pole and hook up that pole and string, whatever, the banner up. And normally you just, in that app, you just fly back down to the runway to pick it up. In this case, they do not move the setup onto the runway. It's right where they're parked off the side of the runway. Okay? So when we get there, I'll show you a little bit more. I'll point it all out.
November, Alpha traffic in, Sierra Romeo, Mike 2314 is taxiing to runway 16.
Now, again, I said I apologize. This is a long taxi, and you're not really supposed to go over 20 knots in a taxi. Okay, so they want you to taxi. I know I sound like a broken record. I say this every time. They don't want you taxiing any faster than you can walk. And it can be a real pain in the butt because there's no button you can push just to set taxi speed. Maybe shortly when they start having electric wheels, they will facilitate and allow you to have just a button you can push that maintains the proper taxi speed. Because with a propeller, you start out nice and slow and then you build up speed, and then the next thing you know, you're speeding, and the next thing you know, you're getting penalized for going too fast. So you're constantly trying to find that sweet spot and messing with your throttle to keep this thing moving. There is never a one setting on your joystick throttle fits all, because the ground is uneven and yada, yada, yada. Like right now. And now I'm completely stopped. Didn't have enough momentum. So now I've got to get it to where I start moving again. But watch, after a couple of seconds, you already know this, you end up building up too much speed. Then you got to, pull it back again, and you might end up stopping again. You'll start to get twitchy after a while if you get enough speeding violations. Thank goodness it's not like the old days in like earlier versions of Microsoft Flight Simulator, or let's see, like Flight School, Dovetail's Flight School and Flight Sim World. If you oversped while taxiing, they'd just start the mission over. The earlier simulators were so unforgiving. It was just if then and go to hell. If you do this, you fail, and it restarts the mission. Now, you also may remember earlier Flight Simulator versions where they talked forever. They did the entire briefing they didn't do the briefing like it is here, where you read most of your briefing on a screen before you jump into the mission. In the older versions, you jump into the mission, and they give you 5 minutes worth of dang briefing, and then you can go. And then again, if you fail on the taxi, 5 minutes. And back then too, it was really difficult to skip ahead. They'd start talking, you're over there hitting the space bar, trying to get them to shut up and move on to the next dialogue. Oh, it was if then go to hell. And normally on thresholds like these, doesn't matter if the arrows say, it doesn't say to stop here or not. It's just common rules of the road to if you're outbound, you're not coming in from a runway and a landing, you don't have the right of way. Only things coming off a runway have the right of way and don't usually have to stop at those. But anytime you're making your way to a runway and you run into something like that, you need to stop. So, yeah, I know. And they're not going to penalize you if you don't here in this. But, real world, yeah. I don't know. You look at the bar. The bar's on the other side, pointing this direction, so you don't have to stop that one. Okay, there's the advertising truck. And you see the two yellow, whatever. They've got a bunch of yellow markers laid out, and then the big yellow ones at the end here. Looking over there. Okay, there's where you got to pick up the sign. Those are the yellow markers leading you to it. Don't let your wheels go off the runway. You'll get a penalty for that. And you may be thinking to yourself, in general, you don't normally live stream at night normally. And you're right. But tonight I am... Tonight I am a little bit more awake. And not really much I want to do. I might want to rewatch Daredevil, the first 2 episodes. Really enjoyed that. So again, these bars coming up, the solid yellow bars are not facing towards us. They're opposite us, so you don't have to stop. That makes sense? The solid yellow lines were not on our side. They were on the opposite side. The broken yellow lines were facing us. So that was telling traffic coming the other way from the other direction that they have to stop. Like here, see the solid yellow lines again? And the broken yellow lines? Yeah.
Kilo Lima November Alpha Traffic in Sierra Romeo, Mike 231-4, taking off runway 16 south departure.
All right, well, they're not air traffic control, nor our handler is going to respond, so we'll go ahead and enter the runway. Now, I got to do everything I can to avoid touching out of habit that thumb button to do trim, just in case it fails again. So only use Shift H once we get up in the air. Okay, again, there they are, not on the runway, off to the side. So when we come back around, we're going to fly up, we're going to climb to that point, we're going to do a U-turn, we're going to come back in the pattern, turn again, and come down this way, entering into that funnel of yellow at no higher than 10 feet, 6 feet. You got to be like 6 feet off the ground and try to snag that. And in the last one, there's a small little wind, and this plane in general drifting to the right. So in 2 passes, I missed it because I was just over to the right a little too much. Excuse me. I wish they just set it up down here at the end of the runway, just so you can grab it here. Got to be a simpler way. So 250 feet. There we are. Oh, 500. Okay. Easy enough.
KNN, Vox 14, don't forget to release the hook before you make your approach above the pickup zone. Secure your banner attachment. Aim directly between the 2 poles.
Okay, so Shift H is what I've got set up.
Steady flight at about 6 feet, then adjust your pitch just right to hook the tow line. After that, you should climb out at full throttle and soar away to the towing zone.
All right.
The zone is safe for you. Aircraft in the area are aware you're engaged in a tow operation. I've already taken care of it.
Okay, so I wanted to show you. I pressed, what I did is set my pole toggle up to Shift H. you'll want to set whatever you want. But now you see that the pole is extended. It's actually a lot nicer now than earlier. It seems, I mean, at least there's some sunny skies. Earlier, it was completely overcast.
In for pickup.
You hooked it. The banner's deploying. It was close, but you pulled it off. Well done. Now let's tow the banner on site. Just so we're on the same page. The hook zone is also where you'll release it once you're done. KNN Vox 14, you're expected there in 4 minutes 30 seconds for your rotation above Palm Beach. Make sure the message is clearly visible from below. It's important.
Oh, this is where I've screwed up twice by trying to adjust my trim. I don't see the sign. Oh, there it is. Trying to adjust my trim, and I ended up pressing my thumb button and oh, a little bit glitchy, a little bit twitchy, but it's there. Okay. Keep your thumb off. The buttons. I can't even imagine how much talent is required to do old school sky writing. That kind of boggles my mind that certain pilots are so good that they could do that. I don't know what's ahead because I've never made it this far. I would have had to place my coffee way over there and switch hands on the joystick. Grab my coffee. All right, Miami. Prepare to be signed. Signs, signs, everywhere are signs. Do this, don't do that. Can't you read the signs? I apologize. I realize now that the missions we've been flying earlier, like out in the desert and stuff, there's no water, so I turned down the water resolution real low. So if you're looking at the water thing, that's how good it looks in 2024? No, I've got the resolution on the water set way low.
On the coastal zone at 600 feet above. You'll help the message be more clearly read.
Clearly read? Clearly read. Well, but I didn't even realize my flaps are down. And this is max. That makes sense, though. Where the hell are the boxes? Where do they want you to go? All of a sudden, the boxes dropped out from underneath me. Then it says, pass start there. Set an altitude of 600, a speed of 72. Where are we at? Why did they lead us in at 1,000? It says, and so I'm gonna turn around. 600 feet, 72 knots.
I see you're on site. I'm counting on you to make our client happy.
Eat at Joe's. Eat at Joe's.
Curious about what's written on your banner? Eli, radio, red, blue, fun, and music. I dig jamming to that in my car. It's a good way to kill time. Hey, quick tip for you. Find the sweet spot with the plane's positioning, and the visual impact of the banner will surely help increase the customer traffic of the client. It's a game changer for the both of us.
I don't really know what she means. We're supposed to be in the sweet spot with everything being green. Making a lot of little small adjustments to throttle and to the yokes. There's a little bit of leeway, not much. 100 feet or so, right?
A great day for towing. I hope the client gets their money's worth. Your final step is the drop zone. I'll give you some space.
Kilo Lima November, Alpha Traffic in Sierra Romeo, Mike 2 Tree 144 miles southeast, 700 feet inbound to land runway 16.
KNN, Vox 14, waiting for the banner at the drop zone. Don't forget to release it nice and slow. The banner is expensive, so please be careful when you release it.
Okay. We'll try to do so. Oh, crap. Watch. Hold on. I was trying to set my earlier live stream to private. Did it set this one to private? No, it's public. Okay, just checking. Some people have already checked it out. Okay. Hey, thanks for stopping in. I really appreciate it. While I'm paused, again, let me grab my coffee again. Cheers. Here's to your health, well-being, and prosperity. Thank you so much for stopping in for even a minute. I can't thank you enough. Thank you, thank you. Please like and subscribe. I would really like to keep doing this and make my significant other, Christine, really happy. So please, please, please. Okay, let's finish this up. Signs, signs everywhere, signs. So you're supposed to fly by and then drop it on this. Look where they've got the blue marker on the ground where we picked it up. We're supposed to fly by and then drop it and then do another pass and then land. No wonder looking at the flight plan on the other, the MFD or whatever it is, the second screen, the Copilot screen. Look at that route. I know it makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, oh my lord. How am I supposed to make heads or tails of that? So that's what it seems like, that we come in and we drop it off and then we're going to have to do another pass rather than just ditching it at the end of the runway.
Vox 14, KINN. Approaching drop zone.
14-5 on 5.
Drop below 72 knots. I was aligned with the drop area. What? Toggle grapple hook. That's a different damn command. Toggle grapple hook is not the same as the button that we're set to drop the damn pole. That one is a hook. Asobo! Toggle grapple hook, you see? That's not the same as the pole. I guess it may be two. All I can assume is that they're two different mechanisms. One lowers the pole and one just makes the hook let go. That's all I can guess, is that there's, again, we're dealing with two different mechanisms. Let's clear these. Just toggle grapple hook. Well, let's just try that. We came so close to hitting the ground there.
Don't sink, don't sink, don't sink.
Do shut up.
We'll take care of collecting the gear. Just be a tad slower next time.
Climb to 250 feet. Retract pole. Okay, so again, two different mechanisms. All right, I get it now. Degree flaps. $20. Or half, or whatever it is. Full flaps. What? That flashed by so fast I missed what the problem was. I got dinged for something.
Kilo Lima November Alpha Traffic in Sierra Romeo Mike 2314 is taxiing to parking.
Well, there you have it. I have completed the aerial advertising and we've learned a lot. Biggest thing is that the pole raise and lower is a different mechanism than the hook grapple. I think you're going to find it really fun and challenging. Staying just 6 feet above the ground to grab that banner is pretty tricky. And coming back after dropping it, not hitting the ground is kind of tough. Oops, speeding a little too much. We're coming off of runway, so usually we have the right of way. But it's still a good idea to look both ways. All right, so tomorrow, let's see, I still have quite a few helicopter certifications to get, and I got to get the charter VIP. So much to do in the career stuff anyway. That's just career. Lots to do everywhere else. All the world photography stuff. All the activities. Yeah, let's put it, your parking, your takeoff, or your starting spot as far away as possible. That'll make them happy. They're gonna love that. I mean, who doesn't love super long taxis? Nobody I know. Everybody I know says, man, I love taxiing at under 20 knots for more than several minutes. This isn't even the worst at all. The big airports, oops, speeding. The big airports, oh my gosh. Oh my god. After crossing runway Z, C1, Z2, A2, B2, B3, B5, that didn't come out right. After taxiing on
And that's a wrap. Congrats. Just in time to share a snack with Sonia and I during the debrief.
Here's where the adult fun jinx comes into play, huh? Go have a snack, yeah. Banner retrieval time. Oh, well, I'll do better next time. Now that we know what it's all about. Hey, still got an A out of it. I'll be darned. Drop banner precision. Know what they wanted. Let it count down to 0 almost. Oh well, again, hey, all learning. So flaps extended max speed. That makes no sense. Retouch down slow. Whatever. We got an A. So, hey, okay. Whatever. And slowly but surely building up our reputation after a huge hit reputation that had nothing to do with me at all. It was completely a screw up of the computer, of the simulator. And these leaps in reputation are so small that it was such a huge hit. And then you earn reputation, these little jumps. It's so hard to earn reputation. And then on something really simple like the simulator screwing up, just chopped my reputation in half. It spawned me in the middle of a lake on a skydiving mission, and immediately caused a mission failure 2 seconds after spawning in. And then it threw me out and cut my reputation in half. Whee! All right, so tomorrow it's going to be, probably might spend the money and go ahead and try to get these the turboprop airline transport pilot rating. And the jet airline. Also, any one of these, turbine engine rating, helicopter, power lift rating, waist endorsement, hook endorsements. Interesting. Okay. All right then, folks. I will see you tomorrow in the morning and afternoon for some more Skydude adventures.